Welcome to your magical moon message. New moon time, moon and cap, sun and cap. Yeah. Reference. If you would like a visual for what this may be like, watch the entire third season of The Magicians. Gorgeous Julia. All right. I call that season Julia Ex Machina. In that show, Julia ends up getting touched by the goddess. And despite how things ended horribly in season 2, she was the hope to potentially bring back magic, as her being touched by that goddess awakened goddess power within her. And what you'll see by the end of season 3, where she fully awakened it and basically was the ex machina for the whole season, in the beginning of this season, she didn't have those powers fully awakened. What she had to do was have faith in her power through every experience to get her through. And the more she used it, the more it grew. Welcome to the new moon. You are awakening your God power. And I can't put a possessive to that, because we could look at God power as the collective representation of power that all of us contribute to, kind of like a pool. And that connects to your individuality. So this collective awakening over the next 5 months will circle back around through the individuals post-March, so that everything you've awakened now, you can integrate and activate personally. This is where we'll see more of a manifestation. Doesn't mean that you won't see anything now, though. This activation is a 0-degree conjunction as the moon travels through the first 20 degrees of Capricorn. It'll be concluding the balsamic phase, helping you understand the utilization of this power to very quickly transcend old beliefs around what you weren't able to do, because you've awakened this power and you doing it now. This is it. This is the final frontier. This is the activation of the final boss battle. The collective tension and conflict that we've seen in this world through individuals putting corporations and collective authorities in check due to their corruption. We saw this the last decade with Uranus and Aries, square Pluto and Capricorn, and seeing the relative revolts that inspired a lot of what has continued on along now. We're still only barely just beginning. But this is beautiful, because by the time we come back here next year, Pluto is in Aquarius. Like, this is the last year Pluto will retrograde back into Capricorn. By the time we harvest in 6 months this new moon cycle, the moon will be in Leo, or rather, the sun will be in Leo, 0 degrees, and the Pluto will be 0 degrees Aquarius, similar to last year, but this time, of course, with more thunder, frequency wars, devices and patents that are able to manipulate people's frequencies and induce physical trauma. That's a little bit extreme, but everything about Pluto is extreme. Just remember, we are entering a new frontier as we are ending another. You could think of it as a blending. Anyway, Mars is in Capricorn, and this new moon is going to activate with the god of war, albeit Mars will be making a 12th house aspect to the sun before it conjuncts the sun again. And this is what's going to enable you to take determined, organized, and exalted action that directs the organization of your intention and focus towards the activation of this God power. Everything that you've ever awakened and done since 2008 is no longer in a learning phase. You are at this complete stage that you can now move forward in. This is going to lead us into the moon in Aquarius, which will manifest the advanced knowledge of this power. So like in less than 48 hours, once the moon goes into Aquarius, you will understand and know exactly what power you are activating. It's the second stage activation Taurus signature, manifestation. I'm thinking 22, 23 degrees Aquarius when the sun is 23 degrees Aquarius. That's a 30-degree angle. So from 30 degrees to 60 degrees, once we get to that 60-degree angle, around like 25, 27 degrees Pisces and 25, 27 degrees Capricorn, that's the third stage activation. Once we manifest or download the knowledge of what we just awakened, Moon in Pisces will now set and activate our attitude and experience an effect of this God power collectively through your imagination. Moon Saturn, Moon Neptune, Cazimi. So we know that this activation is a cardinal. The new moon in Aries was the first cardinal activation of power. And that's also important to speak of because the new moon in Aries featured Jupiter in Aries the first 5 months of 2023. New moon in Cancer was the second activation of power, bringing an integration. After the activation of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, we started to break those seeds we planted through the ground and understand the core of our identity based on where we're from and how we feel, our energy signature, and who we are. Then we had the third stage activation, new moon in Leo. That was the third Libra, new moon in Libra. Libra is the superpower. The third stage activation of power we have every year. And of course, around this period in October, the next equinox, the fall equinox, this is what enabled us to harvest the presentation of the identity we activated in Aries and sowed the seeds to. Well, through integration of Cancer and understanding how to feel about it, we now express and perform socially in Libra. And of course, this brings us to the fourth and final conclusion every year, every cycle, new moon in Capricorn, bitch. This is the completion where we now take everything we've harvested with our social actions and we determine the integrity, the reputation, and the legacy that we take all of this. And we're going to do it all over again, Aries. But I wanted to highlight this because unlike previous years, 2023, where we had that new moon in Jupiter, ever since then, now the sun is making a 240-degree angle to Jupiter in Taurus. That means ever since April of 2023 up until now, we have activated this Jupiter evolution of our consciousness, integrated it while the sun was in Leo, squaring Jupiter in Taurus, harvested it while the sun was in Scorpio, opposite Jupiter and Taurus, and we're going to complete it when the sun is in Aquarius, square Jupiter and Taurus. So now that it is trining the sun, this is the final stage of harvest of this evolution through the activation of our God power. The sun is also trining Uranus in Taurus as well, adding on to the strengthened quality of the evolution of our physical senses to channel and harness this God power awakening to innovate how genius we can draw from extra dimensional natural energy, energy that's outside of just the physical, energy that innovates the quality of how we channel this natural energy, and just, if anything, innovate our use of our natural five senses. So what I'm trying to say is the evolution that we have painstakingly paved the way for over the past 9 months in this earth sign of Capricorn is at an extreme level hyper manifesting and creating the reality around how to actually utilize this, the full-on utilization of this. Everything that you have downloaded, you're getting ready to apply moving forward. And it's easy for me to say this because I've experienced, like yourself, objective mechanics and means to mirror the utilization of these powers and abilities with things that happen in real life. Despite thinking you might be someone or do something and there's no reflection of this in real life, making it a delusion, you are able to cross over and actually account for the causality between your imaginations, thoughts, feelings, and things that happen. Because a lot of this God power, while everyone is a unique snowflake and will channel it uniquely to them, some of you are airbenders, some of you are waterbenders, some of you are lightning benders, some of you are fire benders. This is still going to awaken in everyone the capacity through the alignment of their greater self to manifest instantly. And in a nutshell, it's like basically the law of assumption. And now you're able to align so well, your intentions manifest immediately in reality. This is the next frontier leading us to Pluto Aqua, where we will now strengthen this intent with energy manipulation. A whole new wave of energy manipulation is opening up with its new set of problems, new levels, new devils, but so much more we can accomplish. And yeah, it's going to really lead us into the energy magic wars, the frequency wars, but it's cool. Basically, with this awakening, those of you who have done the shadow work, the intensity of power and energy you will be harvesting and harnessing will not corrupt you because you worked on your shadow. For those who bypassed it, for those who are kind of spiraling down in their development, it's going to corrupt them. So this is why during this period over the next 6 months, you may see more open possession. You may see more of what has been hidden on the inside of people come out. And if what's inside of people is pure, then they're going to awaken pure power. If what's inside of them is evil, you're going to see this power drive them mad. Don't be surprised if there are a lot of suicides. So with that being a lot more suicide. So, and I'm not wishing that, and hopefully that doesn't happen, but just don't be surprised. Anyway, yes, we do also want to account for Venus that will be finishing out of Sag until the 24th of January. And as Venus slowly but surely climbs through the later degrees of Sag, this increases realization of an ascended perspective through your heart that really behind all the Capricorn power allows you to let go visions that don't align with what it is you're bringing in. Not so that you can be in denial of what you see, so that you can change it. It's literally that simple. And you don't necessarily have to do too much to change it, but just see something different that you want to see. Thankfully, the activation of this with the moon is activating through the awareness of this power simultaneously the understanding of it. Your understanding utilization of you being aware of awakening this power. Okay. So it's not like we're awakening it now. You've been awakening it since 2008. This is just the end of the long loading screen. Even though 20 years or 15 years is like a blink of an eye to the facet of you that is outside of reality and time. So yes, set your intentions. In fact, set an intention with me. I want you to decide. Everything about Capricorn is decision making, ruled by the Reaper. So a decision, decide, kills every other, possibility that could have happened because you're straight on what you will do. All right. So what do you decide to step into? What is an intention you are ready to commit to over the next 2 weeks to 6 months? Because, especially with the trine of Uranus, this is like planting a magic beanstalk, and you'll see rapid acceleration and growth, not because it's coming out of nowhere. This is based off of the work you've done over 9 months and even over 10, 20 years, and really your whole life. So, we're finally here. I don't want to really say that this is the first time you're awakening power. We've been awakening this power heavy since 2020, but whereas 2020 was more focused on the power, and 2021 and 2022 was more focused on the energy, and 2022 and 2023 was more focused on the dream and perspective, 2023 and 2024 has rounded this out and completing this so we can move forward through Aries and Taurus with this new definition of self. This is both incredible and exhilarating, and especially for those of you who have been in between worlds, seeing evidence of this new version of yourself. There's nothing new under the sun, though, so we could just say next version, and coming out of this old obsolete nature of yourself. This is going to push you through the hump. This is going to be it. There's really no one else outside of yourself that you need. Period. Especially, that doesn't mean you shouldn't work with other people, but especially when it comes to how to activate your power, how to use your power. From Moon and Cap, Aqua, and Pisces, you are going to be guided by the hand towards how you uniquely do this, so that when we integrate it and step into Aquarius season, oh, my bad. All right, you guys stay blessed as always. This is going to be very funky. Don't get distracted by the extreme external environment. based on news or media. You know, you're in this world, not of it. So remember, the power within you is greater than the power you see outside of you. You guys stay blessed as always.